Welcome to this week's installment of Docken's Pro Boss Strats. This week we're going to be covering Sulfuron the Harbinger. Sulfuron has approximately 440,000 health. He has 4 abilities in addition to his auto attack ability, the first of those being Demoralizing Shout, which reduces attack power by 300 for affected targets. This is an AoE ability. He also has an ability called Inspire, which is a self buff that doubles his attack speed and increases his damage by 25%. In addition to that, he has a Knockdown ability, which is an AoE effect as well. And he has a ability called Flame Spear. It does a small AoE fire attack that does about 1,000 damage. Sulfuron is accompanied by 4 Flamewaker Priests. They each have approximately 69,000 health and 72,000 mana. A couple of things to note about them. First is that they can heal themselves and any other target that is in the encounter. They also have an ability called Shadow Word of Pain. This is a magic-based damage over time that deals 418 shadow damage every 3 seconds. They also have Immolate, a magic damage over time that deals 380 to 420 fire damage every 3 seconds. They are immune to poison, and they are immune to Curse of Tongues. You want to make sure that you dispel those magic abilities off of the tanks that are tanking them. Other than your normal raid consumables, you want to make sure you have Shadow Protection cast on all the tanks to reduce any incoming damage. This is an overhead view of Sulfuron's room. If you take note, there's a lot going on here. See, there's indicators as to where the main tank is going to be standing, tanking Sulfuron. As well, you can see where the off tanks and the other adds are going to be tanked in a southern area of the room. Their healers want to make sure they're well within range of healing those tanks. The X is where the raid group's going to be standing, and the 4th off tank, or the current kill target, tank is going to be right there by the raid group, and the current kill target is going to be right there by the raid group. The way you'd want to engage this fight would be to have a hunter pull one of the adds to a designated tank that's standing by the raid group, ready to DPS it down. What this does is allow the raid group to focus fire one ad at a time, and then the off tanks in the corner there would take their ad and drag it back to the raid group as the first one dies. You do this in succession until you have 1 ad left, and then the raid group moves up, kills that final ad, and then moves on to Sulfuron. Now, if you notice on this map, it's the same map, it's an overhead view. It's a little bit different of a method. This is the one that's going to be demonstrated in the video following the explanation here. The main tank and all the off tanks are basically going to stack where the black circle is, and then have all the ads stacked up there. The raid group is going to be approximately where the X is located, and what that does is put you all in range to heal all the tanks, puts everybody in range to DPS, and puts everybody where they need to be to stay out of trouble for any of the trash that may be left up in the room. Here we are about to begin the fight. The markers are out, tanks are assigned. There's a rogue assigned to each ad to make sure that they kick to interrupt the heal. I'm going to pull, get the boss, turn him around, face him away from the raid group, kind of your standard. The other tanks pick theirs up, they get them under control. Once they're under control, the AoE can begin. You got to see the kick macro in the background there going off. That's just a good rogue letting everybody know he's doing his job. We're going to have the skull is down, and once the skull is down, the next target's X, box, moon. We have a kill order assigned, so any melee that are not assigned to interrupt or tank a target are going to be focus firing in the kill order, as well helping with interrupts. Though the interrupt falls to the primary interrupter who is assigned. The ads are down. The fight turns into more of a simple tank and spank here. We're just going to have me tanking the boss. Go ahead, mind your debuffs, make sure that you're using things properly. Got that little knockback effect there. You also see he's got his demo shout or demoralizing shout ability applied to me as the main tank. It hits everybody in the area, so it's going to reduce their DPS a little bit, but he's still not that difficult as long as you keep those interrupts off. That's the key to this fight. Just go ahead, bring him down the rest of the way there, a few more percentage points. He's down. If you take a quick note here, we're going to put out the rune, but you see the ads in the back of this scene? You got to be careful when you're coming in and going out. We walk a fine line. There's ads on the left-hand side as well.